Pinocchio loved Geppetto. Geppetto, his father, was everything to him. Geppetto, who carved him from wood and gave him life, was a master craftsman. But lately, something felt wrong, a sense of unease that Pinocchio couldn't shake. A shadow lingered in Geppetto's eyes. A darkness Pinocchio didn't understand, but it was growing. Geppetto started working at night, long after Pinocchio had gone to bed. Strange hours for a woodcarver, hours that seemed to stretch endlessly. He whispered to himself, his words lost in the rasp of his tools against wood, creating an eerie symphony. He kept the workshop door locked, a new habit that made Pinocchio's wooden heart pound with anxiety. One night, Pinocchio couldn't take it anymore. The curiosity and worry were too much to bear. He crept downstairs, each creak of the floorboards echoing like thunder in the silent house. Geppetto's workshop door stood slightly ajar, a sliver of warm light spilling into the hall, beckoning him closer. Pinocchio pushed the door open. The air hung thick with the scent of sawdust and something else, metallic and strange. Geppetto stood with his back to Pinocchio, hunched over his workbench. He wasn't carving. Pinocchio took a step closer. He could see candles now, dozens of them, arranged in a circle on the floor, and in the center of the circle, a trapdoor. Geppetto had never mentioned a trapdoor. "Geppetto?" Pinocchio whispered, his voice trembling. Geppetto spun around, his face a mask of shock. "Pinocchio, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be awake." Geppetto hurried to cover the trapdoor with a rug, his hands trembling as he worked. But Pinocchio had seen it, his wooden eyes widening in shock. He had seen the symbol carved into the wood, a grinning face with sharp teeth and empty eyes staring back at him. He had seen the fear in Geppetto's eyes as he tried to hide it, the old man's face pale and anxious. "What's down there?" Pinocchio asked, his wooden hand clenching into a fist, determination in his voice. "Nothing, my boy," Geppetto said quickly, his voice too high, almost cracking. "Just an old storage space. It's dangerous down there," he added, trying to sound convincing. "Come now, back to bed," Geppetto urged, gently guiding Pinocchio away from the trapdoor. Geppetto's words felt like lies, his expression betraying his true feelings. Pinocchio's nose tingled, a sure sign that something wasn't right, his suspicion growing stronger. He had to know the truth, no matter what it took. "You're lying," Pinocchio said, his voice small but firm. "What is that symbol? Why are you doing this at night?" Geppetto sighed, running a hand through his messy hair. He looked suddenly old, defeated. "It's a secret society, Pinocchio," he said finally. "They protect the town from harm." "By meeting in a secret room with creepy symbols?" Pinocchio asked, skeptical. "It's not creepy," Geppetto insisted, a nervous tremor in his voice. "It's ancient and powerful. They use their knowledge to keep us safe." Pinocchio didn't believe him, not entirely. There was something Geppetto wasn't saying, something dark and dangerous lurking beneath his words. Later that night, unable to sleep, Pinocchio crept to the window, his heart pounding with a sense of unease. The moon hung low in the sky, casting long, eerie shadows across the room, filling it with an otherworldly glow. And then he saw her, the blue fairy, her presence both comforting and alarming. She hovered outside his window, her wings a shimmering blue in the moonlight, radiating a soft, ethereal light. Her face, usually kind, was etched with worry, a look Pinocchio had never seen before. "Pinocchio," she said, her voice a soft whisper on the wind, barely audible yet profoundly clear. "Beware the whispers in the night," she warned, her voice carrying a sense of urgency. "Beware the secrets buried beneath the earth," she continued, her words heavy with hidden meaning. "Your father, he is not what he seems," she revealed, her eyes filled with sorrow and concern. The blue fairy vanished as quickly as she had appeared, leaving behind an air of mystery and foreboding. Pinocchio stood there, staring out at the empty night, his mind racing with questions and fears. Her words echoed in his mind, confirming his darkest fears and leaving him with a sense of dread he couldn't shake. Geppetto was lying. The society, the symbol, the fear in his eyes, it all pointed to something sinister. But what? And what did it mean for Pinocchio? He didn't know all the answers, but he knew one thing for sure. He couldn't stay here. He had to escape. Pinocchio looked around his room, his mind racing. He needed a plan, and he needed it fast. Geppetto was dangerous, that much was clear. Pinocchio took a deep breath, his wooden chest expanding. He might be made of wood, but he had a heart. And it beat with a fierce determination to be free.